back when I was a kid. This field right here you see in the 90s, every day, every weekend, you'd see nothing but a whole bunch of remote control airplanes flying. You'd see tons of them. Big trucks would be parked out here up on the grass and they'd be flying them. You don't see people doing that anymore. You can still see, it says Jefferson Field. I used to love going to watch them. And then back here, where that little white dome is, that building behind it, it's where the Detroit police practice to shoot. All you hear is gunshots over here all day long. Detroit Police Pistol Range. This is actually a really fucked up neighborhood. It's pretty rough living over here. Not too much going on around here other than prostitution, a lot of drug dealing. But you have this really nice road that cuts through the neighborhood. They're starting to bring it back. They're starting to build trails, mulch them, and then plant like a bunch of marshland, trying to bring not only the trees back, but the wildlife. You know, not even 5-10 years ago, you go back there, all you would see is burnt down cars, trash everywhere. They're cleaning it up. It's been taking some time, but they've been working at it. It's kind of nice to see. Go this way. A lot of this area is actually kind of historic. There's a lot of these houses that you see around here. Henry Ford kind of owned them in a sense. All the people that worked for him and whatnot. There's a lot of famous buildings down here too. There's one that's kind of like an old cobblestone building. It has some historic value, but it's all run down. It's been like that for years. I might go over there one day and check it out. I don't know if it's still there. I'm sure it is. I used to spend a lot of time riding my bike through here. I'm happy they're bringing the parks back though. Take you through a little stroll through the neighborhood of Detroit. This actually used to be a really nice area, and it still kind of has a lot of nice homes. You see all these brick homes, they're nice homes. a lot of middle class people still live in them. They take care of them. The 60s, 70s, this was a really good neighborhood to live in. But because of the race riots that happened in the late 60s, where the blacks burnt down everything in Detroit, they looted all the buildings and businesses, and a lot of the immigrants and the white folks, they moved out. They moved to the suburban areas about 10-15 miles from here and farther. Some of them moved out of the state, which then left this area really open. And then the blacks took over, and then crack hit in the 80s, and that's what really kind of fucked this area up. This neighborhood is not too bad. When you cross this main road up here, that's when it starts getting worse. And you can see it. Because the homes are brick and whatnot, people kind of understand the value of them. They try to take care of them. That's not always the case. As soon as you pass Evergreen right here, you'll see the difference. You'll start seeing just empty lots, burnt down homes. But the reason why I like being part of the greening of Detroit is because you see a lot of these empty lots like this. They'll be full of trash and garbage. People will just dump. See how people just leave shit? They'll dump and whatnot. The city of Detroit has been spending a lot of money trying to bring the city back together. And they contract the company, the nonprofit Greening of Detroit, they contract us out. And what we'll do is we'll go in there and clean a lot of these empty lots up, get the trash out, we'll cut down a lot of the trees and whatnot, and then they build parks. That's what they've been doing lately. And then another thing we do is we'll build like little forests, little pocket forests we call them. We'll put like park benches down and whatnot, and then we'll plant gardens. So you'll see like in a lot of these neighborhoods where you'll be walking down the street and then you'll see an empty lot and it'll just be full of trees and a bunch of park benches, and they're starting to pop up everywhere. So I like being part of bringing the city back together. You know, I grew up here. I've seen how bad the neighborhood is and how fucked up it is over the years, and I like being part of bringing the city back together, you know, making it a nice place for people to live. Just rolling through the neighborhoods. Slept pretty good last night. I didn't get that cold. Been sleeping in my car, so and I think I'm gonna be staying in my car for a minute because one, I want to stack up the money. By me staying in my car, I don't have to pay for a motel room or anything, and the only bills I have as of this moment is my car insurance, which is $220 a month, and my phone bill, which is $550. And I have 2 incomes coming in. I get paid bi-weekly from both companies, which is nice as they're staggered. So I'll get paid 1 week from the Greening of Detroit, then the following week I'll get paid my hourly check from Sammy's Pizza, which Sammy's Pizza won't be that much, but I make money in tips every night I work. I made $79 in tips last night, which I had $1 in my account. So I had to go throw money in my account. The only thing that sucks was staying in the car. And kind of the same thing as being in the motel. It was hard for me to grocery shop. I couldn't buy too much, which is fine because I usually only buy what I need for a couple of days anyways, and it's a good way to live. Unless you have like a family, you got a bunch of kids and whatnot, then it's a little different, you know. I would spend a couple $100 in groceries just to make sure the fridge was full for the kids. But just me, there's no point for me to spend $100 on groceries. It's not. I like to buy like a lot of breads, fruits, those type of things. I only buy a little bit at a time for maybe 3 days the most. So, but I eat out a lot. So a lot of money goes to eating out, you know. And I like to eat good, so I'll eat fast food, but it's not very often. The only fast food place I really like is Arby's. I'd say Arby's is the best fast food there is, in Michigan at least. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, you see a lot of these homes everywhere. Probably shouldn't have done that. It's a Kawasaki. I thought it was a Honda CBR for a minute. I like those old 1980s, 1990s Honda CBRs. They're one of my favorite bikes. I've been wanting to get another bike, but the problem is when I start riding, I'm batshit crazy, and I'll start catwalking that motherfucker down the street. I don't want to get hurt. I have too many fucking surgeries in my body. Yeah, see this house? The whole neighborhood's like this, like. What's crazy is you'll see people living in them still. They'll just go in there and squat. It's crazy. They'll fucking buy a kerosene heater, put it in there, or they'll hook up, if the electric line's hooked up to the back of the house, they'll pull the globe off and put butter knives in there. Get free electricity. I used to get paid. A lot of the dope dealers I used to fuck with that be selling drugs out the houses, they'd pay me. They'd give me a gram or two of heroin just to fucking hook up the power for them for free. I'd go back there. One day I got caught. The house was getting raided at the same time as I was fucking popping off the back of the electric box of the house and putting butter knives in there. They fucking put me in handcuffs. crazy is they barricaded, the two guys barricaded themselves inside the home, took the stove, and fucking pushed it in front of the door, thinking that's gonna stop the fucking police from coming in. I didn't get in trouble though. They unhandcuffed me and told me to get the fuck out of there, and they told me if they see me in Detroit again, they're gonna beat the fuck out of me. It just happened more than once. Oh man, I gotta get to work. We're almost done with planting season. We don't have that many trees left. We maybe have like maybe 100 trees left. Once that's it. That's it for the year. Thankfully, I work full time for them. I'm not seasonal. A lot of the guys are seasonal, so they got to find another job or claim unemployment. I can't do that. I gotta have a full-time job, which I work for the DTEP department, or DTEP. It's DTEP, but a lot of people call it DTEP, but it's really DTEP. I work for that department for the greening of Detroit. So basically, I plant trees when it's tree season, planting season, and then when we're not planting trees, we're doing maintenance on them. We're driving around the city to all the trees that we planted, making sure the tree's alright. We gotta prune it if it needs pruning, water it, put tree guards on it, because see, like these trees right here, if you look with all the little blue guards, those are all trees that we planted. And the reason why we put the blue guards on them is because weed whips. When the tree is small like that, the landscapers come through that work for the city. They'll cut the grass and start weed whipping, and when they hit the tree, it scars the bark. And because it does so much damage to the bark, and the tree is so young, it's a sapling, it has a hard time healing itself, and it ends up dying. Weed whips, weed whackers are the #1 tree killer in an urban environment. So we put those guards up to keep the weed whip from messing up the bark. There used to be a mall kind of up here, but they're tearing it down. I'll show everyone, and then I'm gonna get off the phone, get off the camera. It used to be like a really nice place back then. I remember it in the 90s. It was like 2 buildings on each side of the road, and it had a bridge that went across, and you could walk from building to building and shop. So glad I went and got some coffee this morning. The girl at the Starbucks I went to in Westland, she made a good coffee. I get a vanilla latte, and A lot of times if I'm feeling it, I'll have them put a quad shot of espresso. And the lady asked me, she's like, do you want blonde espresso so it's not so bitter strong? I'm like, no, I want it bitter strong like that. I like it like that. That's what the vanilla's for. I asked them to put 7 pumps vanilla in it. I like that strong taste. So this building right here, they already finally tore down the second building. It was standing a couple days ago. They finished it. Where this truck's pulling in. They finally finished it. And then you can see the bridge. I was talking about the bridge. This was a really nice area, man. I'm telling you, back in the day, 30 years ago, really high scale area. You know, a lot of people lived over here. And I mean, a lot of people still do, but it's not your middle class kind of people, you know. It's the bottom of the bucket. And I'm not saying like personality wise or character wise, I'm just saying like money wise. Yeah, I'm gonna get off this phone. I hope everyone has a good day. Enjoyed the video, seen a little bit of Detroit. I'm gonna go plant some trees.